No patch yet, but we do have a developer update blog, and it's going to give us more insight into the upcoming mid-beta patch. So what do they want to talk to us about? They mostly want to talk to us about Mercy, Symmetra, a little bit of Junker Queen, little bit of overpowered hero concerns elsewhere. But we're going to start with Mercy, where their quest to make Guardian Angel perfect and exactly what they want, what has greater accessibility, continues. They say, over time, players learned that if you jump during the ability at a specific time, the ability would be Guardian Angel, you could launch Mercy up into the air. This is super cool, however, it was completely unintentional. It's been in the game a long time for something unintentional, but they know that. They've grandfathered it in. Mercy's super jump was the result of a bug that occurred during Guardian Angel, but players made it a part of her utility. We liked the idea of a bug turned into a feature, so the changes to Mercy in this beta were meant to make super jump feel more reliable and consistent, which is totally fine, except it didn't work very well. It left with some UFO balloon type Mercy bouncing around. It felt bad for longtime Mercy players, where unless they canceled it, they shot up with super jump. People really didn't like how it felt, what it did. Not as good as the old manually controlled but harder to execute stuff. So what's their solution? Saw some implementation issues with the latest version. Yep, we covered that throughout the first week of the beta. So they're going to be changing it. And the way that they're going to change it is with this goal of the next patch is to give players even more control over Guardian Angel while also increasing its flexibility. I want to be a little careful with this flexibility word, because if you increase the flexibility of something without decreasing anything else, it is a straight buff. So we are accepting that they are looking to buff Guardian Angel here. They want to make her stronger and her more mobile and more flexible in how it works, which means more mobility. So here's how it's going to work. After the patch, Guardian Angel will not automatically launch Mercy into the air, but it will now have a meter that charges while the ability is active. When canceling Guardian Angel with jump, Mercy will now be launched in the direction that she is facing. So that's fine. The more charge she gets during the ability, the more momentum the launch has when she cancels it with jump. That's fine with me, but my problem or my question becomes, and it's not addressed here, can she cancel the super jump? She can choose not to activate the super jump. She can Guardian Angel over to a target, not press the jump button, and she'll do her normal thing. She could also look up, and then if she pressed the jump button, she'd go up. She could look left. She could look right. So in theory, she could go back to where she was, I guess, with it, depending on how much jump she gets based on the distance, because it's this meter. We're gonna have to see exactly how that works. But I suppose my greater question is, if you want to do what would have been an old school slingshot style hop, where you Guardian Angel to the target, and then you want to go a little bit past to get behind a piece of cover, can you cancel the sort of super jump? Can you cancel this space meter thing? Can you go, hey, it would normally shoot me this far if this was the person that I Guardian to and I used the super jump bar feature, but I want to go half that distance or a third of that distance. Can I do that? Or is it I have to use this whole bar? Can I press jump and then press jump again to cancel it? This doesn't make it clear, and that would be my concern, because you wouldn't want to slingshot yourself out of beam range, and quite frankly, you would want to just be able to cancel. What if it's a small piece of cover and you want to cancel here, like a bunny hop type thing would have let you, and now you can't? So that's my concern for her. But they're saying it's giving her more flexibility. It's also going to feel weird to go, hey, I go like this, now I have to look up to super jump. But people will get used to that. That's fine. Just a little bit harder for controller players who won't necessarily be able to 180 quite the same way, though they should have some time. For Symmetra, they realize that she doesn't quite work. They realize, hey, Overwatch 2, they knew she wouldn't work right in, so some of these patches that were this patch was supposed to fix her, they thought making her secondary fire better was going to work, but they think they overshadowed what they did there. They thought the secondary fire and the teleporter were going to be the solutions, but they overshadowed those with other nerfs. So that's fine, and their fix to this is going to be some reversions. They're reverting her secondary fire back to 0.5 instead of 0.4, so it's going to be a bit bigger, and the charge time is going to be reduced to 1 second instead of 1.2 seconds for a fully charged right click. And keep in mind, the main buff, in my opinion, that she got for this beta was double speed orb. So her right click going back to its big size and charging up a little faster with these double speed orbs, that could be be pretty meaningful. I know people haven't liked how she plays. I don't like how she plays in Overwatch 2 either, but this is a pretty meaningful amount of power being returned to her. In fact, I'd be a little worried about things going overboard. It looks like they are too, because they say, additionally, we have another change for her in mind that we're currently testing internally. This iteration is to make her beam ramp up faster, but they're not actually deploying that, it sounds like. We're not sure if this change will stick, but our goal is to make Symmetra feel more natural in Overwatch 2. So it sounds to me like maybe that'll be in, maybe it won't be. It sounds like these three will be, where it's going to be, hey, bigger orb, faster charge time on the orb. We already know the orb is double speed, and then teleporter cooldown reduced by 4 seconds. And this is on the teleporter that has a duration, not the infinite teleporter. So they've changed how that works. So this is meaningful. And they have a fourth thing that they can do here, which is ramp up her primary beam faster. I think it would be wise to not go in with that effectively. But what do you guys think? You'll have to let me know. And then finally, they're going to give us just some other things. Their main things were about Mercy and Symmetra here, but they want to tell us that they're aware of Junker Queen. They like how Junker Queen's working. They think she fits well into Overwatch 2. I still think she's going to struggle a bit when there's any poke in play, any good high-level poke in play, but that's fine. They, however, do recognize that there's some bugs that they see that they want to get rid of. I suspect one of those is the knife through deflect, but we'll have to see. And then what they're also going to say here is they do recognize, or they're paying attention to Zen and Sojourn. Those two are on their radar for these two might be a little bit too powerful. Radar, let's get some bleeps there. They recognize those two may be a little too powerful, so they may have to tune them down prior to the actual launch of the game. And that they're saying prior to launch rather than for the next beta, that tells us that they're not going to patch those two. They don't expect to nerf these two this beta. Maybe they'd nerf them in a next beta, but this would suggest, if they're saying prior to launch here, that maybe they're just being guarded, or maybe they're suggesting that there won't be a third beta. I'd still bet on a third beta. And then they want to make Roadhog's ultimate changes feel a little bit better. They like what happened with him. They like the power that it gives him. They think it's a good buff, but they want to make them feel a little more comfortable, which I do wonder if this will turn into Guardian Angel all over again, where they change it, but then making it feel comfortable after they've changed it is super hard, and we have like 3 or 4 different iterations. I will be curious to see. But that's what we see. What do you guys think? Is this enough for the patch? Do you look at this and go, hey, Symmetra and Mercy changes, and then something for Moira too that maybe they haven't told us about here? That's enough? That's what we're looking for? Or do you say, no, why can't we nerf Zen and Sojourn this beta? Or no, they actually need to give Mei some more love? Or pick it here. Let me know what you're looking for in the patch that maybe they haven't announced here that you're hopeful for, and whether you think we're going to get a third beta or not in the comments down below. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like, consider subscribing for more thought-provoking Overwatch and Overwatch 2 content, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Temporal out.